Hello everybody, welcome to a quick part in the Game Maker series. This is going to be very quick. I'm going to be posting this basically right after the last episode because this is just some cleanup for what happened last time. I looked at the code, figured out what was wrong, and so you guys get an extra quick video for all the fixes. So let's fix a couple things. If we run the game right now, hopefully the bugs are still there. Yeah, so we're still moving from the top left to the character, which we shouldn't be, and we have a little bit of jumping that's going on. The jumping with our character, that's just a little bit of animation stuff that we can fix pretty easily. But for the jumping, let's go to the camera. So I'm going to middle mouse click on camera, and we're going to fix a few things. First, if we scroll up, or maybe not scroll up, scroll down, go to the... No, it is up. It's one of the functions right here. Okay, force position. I was wrong. Game Maker does not support daisy chaining the assignment operators. Every other language I work in does. This usually works. Not sure why Game Maker doesn't, but it's a shame. But unfortunately, we will have to separate this out into their own functions, or their own lines of code. So we'll just do it the normal way. Probably shouldn't have been trying that out anyway, so just I guess leave it like this. Second thing, if we scroll down here to where we do these if checks on the edges, I had these signs flipped, so the first one should be minus or plus, the next one should be minus, so on. So just flip those. That was my bad. I wasn't thinking apparently, but that should be working now. So if we come back to the left, or we run this, execute this, now we start directly in the center. I feel like there's one frame where we weren't though, I'm not sure. Oh, probably actually because it takes a moment for the client to actually update, but that's fine. Now if we go down into the player data, go to our renderer, I'm going to remove these lines of code that I did before for the set position. I realized and I forgot that we do have this linked object here that we're using, and even though this expects an object and we're a class, not an object, we can just pass in our position, and considering it contains an X and a Y, it'll still work. Not exactly how I want it to work, but I mean it works, so that's fine. So up here where we say if ID equals client ID. Remember, this runs for only if the player is our player. So here we can say camera.linked equals our position. And if you remember, our position is this structure right here that contains an X and a Y. And so even though we expected an object, this works too because it contains the same variables. So if I run this, we should still follow the player just like before. But you'll notice our animation stopped working. That I'm not sure about. But we're going to fix that in a second. Oh, now it started up again. What's going on there is if we go to the, I don't know if it's the update position, I think, where we're updating this frame here. Well, we have this frame equals 0 here, which only happens if our position is within a certain range. So what's going on is because we are moving so fast, we are constantly resetting our frame back to 0. So I don't know why I did 1.5. Let's just add 2 to this instead. So it's going to be 2 pixels instead of like 1.5 cells. So that should be fine for that. For frame equals 0, this is going to be weird, but I'm going to set it to 0.5 instead. So it's going to be halfway through the animation. So it's not going to start right at the beginning, it's going to start halfway through an animation. So it'll still be the 0th animation because when you render it, it actually gets floored anyway. So it's still the 0th frame, but it's going to be closer to the next frame, if that makes sense. For it, we should also, instead of just automatically setting it, we should only do it if delta x equals 0 and delta y equals 0. That way, if we are still moving, it can be incrementing its frame. And that being said, frame plus equals 0.1 shouldn't be here. It should always happen. So just take that out of the this line of code outside of the if statements so that we're always incrementing our frame. But if we're not moving, then basically reset our animation back to the beginning. Like I said, this also has an issue with our speed, so I'm going to reduce our speed down from 5. If we come up here, set speed from 5 to 3, and let's try this right now and see what happens. There we go. This is looking a lot better now. Oh, you notice that our edges aren't working either, because we're not, even though I flipped them, I never actually set our edges up. So let's do that. That's pretty easy. If we come to where we say ID equals client ID, all we really have to do is say camera.setEdges 0, 0, room width, room height, and there. Now the camera can't go beyond those edges. And if I move over to the right, you'll see that our player no longer moves over, and we are jumping a little bit on our edges. I don't know if that was something that I did wrong. That might be something to do with our actual update server, though I'm not sure why. That's going to have to be a bug for another time, because I don't have that in my notes. This was basically just a video on editing the cleaning up the camera stuff, so I don't want to deviate too much from the camera stuff. I do want to, now that we know that everything is working, get rid of this circle, because this circle is kind of just for debugging. I still want it there physically, but we don't need to show it, so I can come into the object player start, go to the create event, and for this we're going to say if is client instance destroy, and this should be if client, or no, sorry, if network dot is client. Because again, just like the solid objects, the colliders, it's working the same way. Just like those, if we are the client, we don't want to see it. It's only visible to the server. So there we go. We still start in the same place, but we don't see the circle anymore. All the collisions seem to be working. We can obviously go beyond the screen because there's no colliders on the edge of the screen. We could fix that if we wanted to, but there really shouldn't be an instance where in the final product we are able to go beyond the world anyway. Even if we are transitioning to another room, there should be something blocking us that moves us to another room. So that's fine. Perhaps next time I'll fix this bug, or I'll look into it, maybe, the slight jumping, but it's really hard because I don't know what's causing it. Like, I don't know how to recreate it. It just like happens sometimes where I'll like jump over, so I can look into that. But I think next time we might start adding in some Pokemon or something similar. Perhaps we could add in some dialogue box where we can talk to people. I'm not, oh, that wasn't a bug, that was just me. If you hold down a button, so like let's say I'm holding down the right button and I click off of it, you will automatically start moving. Like, you won't stop. You don't stop until you release the button. That's not a bug, that's just how the game is. That's a debugging artifact, so if you're just playing as one character, it won't really be an issue. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Our screens look good too. I don't think I've actually shown this off yet, but if we resize, that's a little weird. Can't really get beyond that because our room is so big, but we are seeing beyond the left side. But as you see, we can in general scale things down and still have it look good. It's just if you try to scale it too much, which we could probably limit it, find a way to limit how much you can scale it. But yeah, if you scale it in general, it maintains all of its sizing stuff. So it's not scaled, it's not having black edges. It looks pretty good. Anyway, like I said, quick video. So that's everything for this cleanup. So until next time, I'll see you guys later.